When markets start pumping, FOMO kicks in real fast, and it becomes increasingly more difficult to identify an entry. And this is where the TBO indicator and Altrady really come in to save the day. When we see charts that are pumping like Bitcoin, and this is back over here in 2024 in October, so we can see clearly that Bitcoin will inevitably have periods of chop going sideways, but eventually we will get this huge move up. And what I like to identify, for starters, is a TBO open long. This lets me know that we have the green light and a green light to open up a bullish position or to start a DCA bot or just to enter a trade. But sometimes opening right here after the TBO open long is not the best possible entry that we could get. So what I actually like to do instead is wait for the price to return back here to this thick green line. This thick green line right here is the TBO fast line. The TBO stands for the trending breakout indicator, and this fast line is on the top for a very good reason. It's the fastest moving average. This one is one of the best ways to get entries into any trending chart. So here's the idea. Instead of us trying to time it out and get a perfect price, what we can actually do instead is create an alert on TradingView so that when the price of Bitcoin crosses the TBO fast line once per bar, then it's going to send an alert notification all the way over to Altrady. And this will open up a position automatically whenever this condition is fired over here on TradingView. Now, this seems like it'd be super duper simple to set up. It does require a couple of things. One, you need an account on TradingView, duh, and you need an account on Altrady, double duh. I have a link to save 12% on your subscription on Altrady in the description below. But before we get to that point, I want to show you this and how to set it up and work in it, or rather setting it up on both Altrady and here on TradingView. And then we're going to look at two other charts where this has worked extremely well, and to also give you some tips and tricks along the way. So let's start first conceptually with Bitcoin, like this idea we had. So to create the alert, we have to go over here to this alert icon, or it's Alt-A on Windows or Option-A on Mac. So I'm going to do Alt-A to open up the alert notification window. And the condition is going to be when Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, crosses the TBO fast line. Now, we could make specific conditions in regards to this, where it could be crossing up the TBO fast line or crossing down. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. We just want it to cross the TBO fast line. The reason why I set it to once per bar is because I want this to be able to happen repeatedly. But let's say that we're looking for a great entry and we want to set it and forget it. So what we can actually do instead is we can choose only once. So that means the first time, if we set the alert and we are looking at the price retroactively back over here, we get the breakouts and we're like, okay, I want to enter on the breakout, not on the breakout, but when the price returns to the fast line. But I don't want to enter every single time that this happens. I just want to get a great entry. So instead of me trying to figure out where the price might fall back to, I can say at this time, well, whenever the price crosses the TBO fast line, only one time do I want it to send an alert to Altrady to start a position. So let's take that strategy, I guess we could say. On Altrady, we have to create a new signal bot, not a grid bot. We want a signal bot, and we don't want to use the signal function. We want to use a webhook function. And the next thing we have to do is choose our account. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be using the paper trading account that I have here for Binance. The currency is the market we're trading on. USDT is perfect because this is the BTC USDT market that I'm looking at. Give it a name. This is called the TBO Springboard Bounce for BTC. And now we have our API key and secret. So I'm going to copy this, go back over here to TradingView, and I'm going to create a text box, and I'm going to go ahead and paste both of these in. Going back to Altrady, copy this, go back to TradingView, paste it in, perfect. Now, these API keys are keys that you should never, ever share with anybody. But the interesting thing about this is I'm not going to do it because I just copied it, but you can reset these. So if your key gets compromised, which really shouldn't happen, the only thing that would cause that to happen is if your Altrady account gets compromised, but they have 2FA, they even have a passkey feature. Or if your TradingView account gets compromised, again, you should have 2FA on that as well. But let's just keep pushing forward. Now, we only want to open one position with this bot. Simple, easy, straightforward. Now we decide how much of our balance we want to put in this position. So 1% with this paper trading account is $1,000. Let's just do a fixed amount and we'll say, I want to put in 500 bucks. Okay. Now I need to also go ahead and I'm going to turn off my take profit target here. Now, of course, we could turn it on and I could say, well, when I'm in this position, I really want to take profit at 15%. But the reality is that the chart could continue to pump up a lot higher, just like it did over here. So one possible idea is looking at the chart, identifying some normal bounces from the TBO fast line. For instance, moving up here on this touch to there was 8%. This run was actually 50%. Looking at previous bounces, I guess, off of this, bullish bounces, like right here, this bounce was 16%. Honestly, 15% seems like a lot, and it seems like a good amount in my opinion. So let's go ahead and stick with that. But the cool thing is that 15% is very unlikely for Bitcoin to hit in a single day. So once this gets triggered on Altrady, you'll be notified on the app or on the app that you download on your computer or on your smartphone that you've opened a new position. Then you can go in and you can modify it if you want to. You can adjust it, you can add a stop loss, do all that fun stuff. This is pretty much it. So this is super duper easy. We're going to save the settings. And once we do, and we have one last chance to copy the API key or the secret. I'm going to close this and we're going to go to the webhook builder because this part's really cool. So we have our key automatically here. We just need to go back over here to TradingView to copy our secret. So that's the lower one right here. So we're going to copy that, go back to Altrady, going to paste it in right here. Cool. So now we're going to put in our market, BTC, USDT. Perfect. We want to open a long. Awesome. Order size, we want to put in $500. Cool. So this is all pre-configured and ready to go, which is amazing. So we're going to copy this payload here. We're going to go over to TradingView. And here in this window, we actually want to go over here and we want to choose the message. And the message is going to be all of this crazy stuff. Now, it seems complicated, and trust me, typing it out is a pain in the butt, which is why this really cool feature that you can't see because my head's in the way, now you can see it, is really great because then you can just copy that button that says copy payload, put it in here, and now in the notifications, we have to click this button. We need to copy the URL. And then we're going to go back over here. We're going to paste it in the webhook URL section and hit create. So now every time, or rather, actually, according to the alert, only one time when the price retraces back to the TBO fast line will Altrady open a long position with an automatic take profit target at 15%, which at the current price is going to be at about $107,000. So it's pretty cool. And the best part about this is that I don't have to keep watching the charts. If I have confirmation of a bullish uptrend, cool. Now I'm just waiting for the pullback to the price, for the price to go and hit the TBO fast line to get my springboard bounce. Now, I want to show you two other charts that have done really well with this concept, SUI and Kaspa. Now, these two have had pretty amazing runs. We can see right here that Kaspa has already proof in the pudding. We can see the price crossing the TBO fast line right here. Now, even though the price goes against us, it does shoot up about 20% a couple days later. We have another one of these. The price moved up about 9% and it's down a little bit. Actually, it's basically back to our entry again, but we're waiting and holding for a bounce. But the reality is that we don't have to do everything on the daily time frame. No. We could take the 4-hour time frame, which I would argue would be really interesting. So let's try a different strategy out with this. Now that we have these TBO breakouts here on the 4-hour, what I want to do is I want to just make this a scalping bot. So every single time the price touches the TBO fast line on the 4-hour, I want to take profit at 5%. Now, in hindsight, that might seem like really, really greedy. And to be honest, it is. Usually faster timeframes mean that you should be taking profit at a lot smaller of an interval. For instance, taking profit at 2% means that I could be taking profit over and over and over and over. And sometimes I might have to wait for the price to shoot up 2%, like right here. And it doesn't for another couple of days until finally, boom, a day later. So let's take this strategy with Sui. I still think that this one's a fun chart for trading. So we're going to do the same setup right now, but we're going to go back over to Altrady and we're going to create a new bot. We're going to hit create, a new signal bot, webhook, same idea, same concept, and we're going to be using the chart for Sui. So we need to make sure we have the right market. So we're going to choose USDT. We're going to go ahead and call this TBO Springboard 4-hour Sui. Now we have a new API key and a secret. We're going to copy the secret. We're going to go back over here to TradingView to paste it in so we have it for reference. Keep going through. Now this one's different, right? So we're going to use a fixed amount. We'll do 500, sure. And we want to have a fixed take profit target of 2% every time. So this way, it's going to be taking profit a lot quicker. Save the settings of the bot. We have this information. Cool. Go to the webhook builder. And we need to customize all this stuff. So we're going to put that secret right there. We're going to go for Sui, USDT, open along, and order size is going to be 500. It's redundant, but I actually don't even have to put this in because it's pre-programmed in the bot, but it's just nice to put it in there. I'm going to copy the payload. We're going to go over to TradingView. And now I'm going to delete that guy. We're making a new alert. When Sui on the 4-hour time frame, which is really important, crosses the TBO fast line, same as chart 4 hours, once per bar. This is important. This distinguishing part right here, well, I guess it's my head's in the way, isn't it? There we go. If we choose only once, as soon as this condition is met, it will send an alert to Altrady and then it's done. It will not send any more alerts. But if we send it once per bar, then this is going to happen every single time, but only one time per bar. We could wait until confirmation, but this will not achieve the same results. We really want to do once per bar. So let's do this. We don't want once per minute because we only want one position opened. Cool. Now we're going to go here to message. We are going to paste in the message in the notifications because I've already created an alert. TradingView remembers this. So I just hit create. And now it's done. We'll probably see an alert generated pretty soon because the price is probably going to fall down another 0.3% till it hits this. And then when the price goes up 2%, boom, takes profit right away. Now, 2% profit doesn't feel like a lot, but 2% earned over and over and over 9 days is going to feel really good. Now let's do one more of these and let's choose a faster time frame. So we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. Let's do something a little bit more wild. And let's use a DCA strategy. Now this is honestly where the DCA backtester comes into play and does a much better job. But let's go ahead and just eye it. This is the way I used to do everything. So we want to take profit real quick. We'll just do 1%, a scalping bot. But we want to be prepared for drawdown up to 3%. So let's go ahead and test out this theory. There's a 2% move. Cool. There is a return right there. There's 1%. Here's a return, and it goes down way more than 3%. So you might want to do maybe like 6% or so. And then once we use DCA, we'll have the price jump back up there and hit it. Now, of course, we could be way more aggressive. We could say, well, I want to make sure that we use this in a really specific manner. Again, this is where the DCA backtester really comes into play well. But let's go ahead and just use this concept again with these pullbacks into the TBO fast line. So we're going to use the 30-minute chart for Caspa. We're going to go back to Altrady. We're going to go back, hit create. I'm going to make a signal bot. This one's going to be a webhook. Again, I want to make sure that I'm choosing the right account and the right market. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and do TBO springboard, bounce, CAS, 30 minutes. Cool. We have our secret. I'm just going to click copy because in a second, we'll just be able to paste it in the window. Now, we want to use a fixed amount for this. So this is where things get a little bit more tricky. We do have to understand DCA strategy. So we're going to use one DCA order. And if we make it $500 for our initial size, if we use DCA, we want to put this order 6% down, and we want it to be 2 times the initial size. This allows us to actually DCA. So we're doubling down. Let me hide my face so you can actually see this. We got 500. then the estimated target size is 1,000. So in total, $1,500. This is a double down strategy. And this is exactly what we want to do because this is how DCA works. Taking profit at 1%. Perfect. Hit save settings. Yes, we have our secret saved. We're going to go to our webhook builder. We're going to go ahead and paste in the secret. We're going to choose our market. So this one was for CASPA, which is not available. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go ahead and put in a filler ticker. There we go. And open long. Cool. This is all set to go. We're going to copy the payload because it has that in there. We're going to go over here to TradingView, pop, and we're going to set up an alert. So when the price crosses the TBO fast line once per bar, perfect. Then we're going to have it send this signal to Altrady. There we go. So every single time this happens, Altrady will now create a new position. Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if CASPA is available on Binance. That would kind of help, wouldn't it? But this is still really, really, really helpful. Now, what will happen actually if I'm using this signal for CASPA, but it says symbol Binance SUI? Guess what? When this signal is triggered, it's going to send the wrong thing. It's actually going to send out an alert that will be for SUI. So I'm pretty sure CASPA exists on Binance. Let me just see though, because I might be wrong. Oh, apparently it doesn't, and they're right. There is a futures perpetual contract, so this won't fire anything off, and that's okay. But we're just going to go ahead and just leave it anyway. So the main thing I want to get you excited about is that you don't have to have this continual FOMO-driven mentality when it comes to crypto trading. This is what automating trading is all about. This is what we teach at thebettertraders.com. Wow, what a face to transition to right there. This is exactly what we talk about at the Better Traders. You can get access to the TBO and learn a couple of other really cool tricks, including the TBO Springboard Bounce, by joining the Better Traders Club. When you go to the club, you're going to want to scroll all the way down here to the different tiers. Access to the TBO is included in the Trader and the Pro tier, just so you guys know. But you could use this concept on TradingView with any indicator. You could use it with a moving average, a simple one as well, because the TBO is just a fancy version of 4 different moving averages with lots of shiny buttons, I guess you could say, shiny signals that do some really amazing things at letting us know when a trend should be breaking out, breaking down, reversing, all that fun stuff. But conceptually, hopefully this video makes a lot of sense, but I'm curious to know what you think about it in the comments. And if you have any ideas of how you could automate trading, let me know down below. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.